G'day fellas and welcome to Age of Mythology Retold. Today I'm going to be showing you what is available in Age of Mythology Retold. If you want to play this weekend, that's correct. If you want to get your hands on this bad boy, you can. However, it is going to cost you, of course. There's a closed beta available right now. It'll be lasting for a couple of days, but there is a but. You're going to have to fork out big bickies, baby. You'll need to pre-purchase the premium edition. So for me, that's Australian $55 dues. So it works out to be about 35 American dollars, somewhere around that. But let's get into it and show you what is available, what Age of Mythology Retold looks like, because I tell you what, it is absolutely beautiful. So starting out, you're going to have access to Skirmish. We're going to get in there soon. We're going to have a nice little look at that. You've got your campaign. Now, I think there's a couple of missions in here that you're going to be able to play, not obviously able to play the entire thing. They've also got your tutorial for anybody who's new to the game. And then they've got multiplayer. If you dare dive into the depths of multiplayer, I know I'm not going to be too keen on that just yet. We're probably going to have to work out all of our hotkeys and whatnot. But of course, you've also got the ability to load games. You can hear, geez, that rain's loud, isn't it? I tell you what, that's some loud rain right there. Excuse me. And then we've got replays as well, so you'll be able to go in and watch a replay. I just went in and double-checked and tested that it works, and I can confirm it works. So, before we start, though, what I want to do is just show you a couple of the options, and I'll show you, to start off, the sound option. Let's turn that bad boy down. So, there's a couple of really interesting options that are in here. The main one I want to show you is, where is it? Where is it? This one up here? No, it's down. No, it's over here. There we go. It is auto-train. Immediately auto-trains villagers in newly built town centers. You turn that bad boy on and immediately auto-train villagers at game start. This is amazing because what this means is it bridges the skill gap between lower level players and those mid-level players that have mastered this ability. Because now you don't have to worry about it. It's always on. I'm excited for it. You're excited for it. Let's get into it. Let's start by looking at the tech tree at the top and take a look at some of the options that we've got for civilizations to play. Now, apologies for calling them civilizations, but you know, that's just how it works where I'm from. So you've got the Greeks, Egyptians, the Norse, and the Atlanteans. So the Atlanteans, unfortunately, not available. They are coming soon. Definitely the coolest of the four, I'll say that much. But you do have access to the other three civilizations or factions. Each one of them is different. They've got special skills. And the best part about it is there's god skills or god powers, and they are now reusable. That wasn't the case previously, but this bad boy right here, Bolt from Zeus, guess what? You can use it throughout the game as many times as you like. However, it is going to cost you. So let's take a little bit of a look here. You can see that we've got the tech tree. So for anybody who wants to dissect and go through and understand exactly what makes each faction or civ different, you're going to be able to do that here. For anybody wondering for Zeus, what makes him different, it is this bad boy right down here. And I guess, maybe it's this one as well. Who knows? They've got access to one of these. I can tell you that much. All right, well, let's take a look at the treasury as well. That's going to give you a little bit of information. When I say a little bit, that's me being facetious. It's a lot of information, so you can actually see information about the Atlanteans in here. But you'll be able to go in through and access their lore. I'm not really much of a lore guy, so there's that. Also, we can see into the profile, so you're able to actually see what's going on here. You're able to check your friends out, sign into Xbox Live if that's what you're a fan of. Not me. I haven't used Xbox Live since what, 2013, 2014? It's been a while. Actually, now that I think about it, it was probably for Age of Empires Online that I used Xbox Live. There's some socials in here. You can see I've got some friends online. We've got the Mr., Mido, and Winston, and they're all offline at the moment. It's just me. I'm sure the Mr. will be joining us soon once he finishes out on the farm. But let's get into it. We're going to dive in. We're going to play a skirmish. And what we're going to do is we're going to do it a little bit differently, okay? I'm going to actually turn on all of the assistants that you'll be able to have in these games. Now, when it comes to our civ, I think we're probably just going to go with Zeus, because to me, Zeus seems like the easiest one to pick up. If I was going to judge these civs on different levels of difficulty, I would say the least difficult would be the Greeks. I'd say the Egyptians would be a medium amount of difficulty, and the Norse would probably be the most difficult. Egyptians probably a higher skill cap, though. Than the Norse in the end. But we're going to start off with the Greeks, and let's put ourselves, who are we going to pit ourselves against? I think we can pit ourselves against Ra from the Egyptians. Got to be careful of this guy. Now, we might change our color. We'll change... What color are we going to go? We'll go with green, and we'll switch over. He can stay on red. The map, we'll just... So, you won't actually be able to choose which map you want to play. You can only play standard maps, which I think is cool, because you got to remember at the end of the day, this is I think it's like a beta test, right? Like, they actually want us to do some testing and report bugs, that sort of stuff. So, they want you not to just play, you know, the same map over and over and over again. Drongo, I'm looking at you. I know. So we'll keep everything standard, and we're going to turn on military auto-train. So enable this option to allow military units to be auto-trained when right-clicked. We'll turn that one on, and we're also going to turn on villager priority. So without further ado, what are we at? We're at 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and we're finally getting into some gameplay. Let's do it. We're on Oasis, and all right, we're starting off. I'm going to send all of my vills down here. We're going to go straight away, and we're going to start taking these zebra. And I'm also going to drop a granary. I think we'll drop it on the other side of the zebra so that we've got... Get out of there. There we go. Wonderful. All right, so we'll send... Maybe this guy... We'll send him to food. And we need to think about our age up. So one of the things that we're looking for when we age up, we're going to need access to our temple. So... Where's the temple? There she is. It's a little bit small. Now, if you're watching this on a normal monitor, there's a good chance that you probably can't even read my writing. So I've already gone and reported that and be like, hey, this writing's really small. The writing that I'm talking about, you see that writing down there? Jeez Louise, that is some... This is writing for ants. We will say that much. All right, so we've started off pretty decent opening. I'm happy with this. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a Greek main by any means. If I would describe myself, I would say I am probably more of an Egyptian main. I'm a big fan. I like the Egyptians. They feel pretty good. They feel pretty strong. Another thing to note for all you AOM enjoyers from like the past lives, there's going to be huge updates to the way that this game plays and how it feels. A lot of differences you're going to see, and one of those I'm going to demonstrate to you pretty shortly, which is going to absolutely blow your mind. So, you may have already noticed, I've got a little button right here on my UI that automatically sends my sheep to this location. There you go. There you go. That feels pretty good, doesn't it? Oh my lord. I don't ever have to worry about my vills. Well, I don't have to worry about my vills, but I don't have to worry about my sheep and forgetting my sheep. I just press this button here, and it will automatically bring all those sheep back in. So that's a really nice change. I like that a lot. All right, well, we've got enough now that we can actually throw down our temple. So I'm going to throw down my temple here on the top side. We might get these guys back over on gold as well. All right, and we've already found a relic. So this is the Tusk of the Iron Boar, which increases cavalry hit points by 10%. I think this is a pretty cool relic. I like this, and I am going to go for a very early one of these bad boys right here, Jason's. We're going to go for this nice and early, but before we do that, I think what we might look to do... Oh, that's a bit of an awkward spot right there. Oh, okay, there we go. I think what we're going to do is we're going to drop a house down, and then once we get the resources for Jason, we're going to queue him up. All right, so if we take a look at here, I'm going to go ahead and queue him. Now, you need a bit of population space. We've got our house online, and there you can see he's actually queued at the same time as my villager. That is right. So pretty exciting stuff. He's going to come out. We'll send him out over here, and we're going to pick up that relic, and we'll bring it back and place it in the temple. Our sheep are coming back here, and we've got the ability to age up shortly. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually send out some villagers here. You can see I've got a lot of villagers on food. In fact, arguably too many villagers down here on food. So we're going to go out here and do that. So now that he's picked up the relic, he should be rallied back towards this position here. You can't actually see the rally points. And let's get these sheep back in. Now, keep in mind I'm playing against the AI. This is on hard difficulty, so they're pretty decent. And now I'm going to show you another cool little feature. Oh, careful there. Careful there, Mr. Scout. I'm going to right-click. Instead of left-clicking, I'm going to right-click down here. You can see the game's paused behind me. And what that's going to do, even though I've got a villager that's in queue at the moment, is that's going to automatically put my age up through as soon as it's ready. So it's actually ready at the moment. So it's probably a little bit silly of me to do that now, because I might as well just left click it so we can go back and do that. But one of the things that it will do when it does that is it will cut off production from my town center and immediately put that, whatever it is that I want, to the front of the queue. Let me show you. So if I right click right now, which I have, Athena, or in this case, I'm going to left-click Athena. It's automatically going to put her to the front. Now, I'm just going to cancel it because I want to actually finish this build, and I'll just put this in queue the regular way. It's a little bit complicated. So all of our villagers have now gone idle. We'll move a couple of them out over towards... Oh gosh, what's going on out here? We'll move a couple of them out, and we'll bring a few over onto gold as well. So I'm going to try my best here to make this work. Now keep in mind, as I said, not a Greek player. Oh gosh, where are we? We're over here. We're not a Greek player. Instead of bringing these back the good old-fashioned way. So it looks like we have dropped off our very first relic. So now we can come out here and we can pick up our second relic. So this is Gambentine, Odin's Ward. So temple improvements are cheaper, which is pretty cool. So we'll do that. Looks like we've got an Idolville out here. So we'll come back here and we'll shift-click that inside here. Enemy has aged up through Patar. So I think we might go for a little bit of a forward base here. We might get ourselves a couple of units on the board nice and early. What do you guys think? I'm liking the sounds of that. So I think we can just throw down a barracks and we can throw down a stable. And you know what? I'm feeling a little bit crazy right now. Was that a barracks? That was, it was a military academy. I do apologize. We've got an archery ranger stable. We've got a barracks all coming down. We're going to throw those down in the middle of the map here. Now we're going to keep rallying out over onto food. I suspect we might have some food issues here. Now, you want to know what issues we're going to have? We're going to have issues with housing, that is for sure. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move. Oh gosh, I don't like the looks of that. We got a lot of goats, don't we? Like, I think we're kind of fine when it comes to the number of goats that we've got. Like, this is an awful lot of goats. All right, so I'm going to queue up a couple of units out here. So we've got all three of these. I'm going to add them into a control group like this, but I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to right-click them, which is going to mean that I'm automatically now producing those units. But we've got to be careful here. I don't want to run out of food because I'm training villagers at home, and we want to try and keep those bad boys online. I think we're also going to queue up Heracles right now. Now, is my enemy just not scouting? Like, how come I'm getting all of the sheep? This feels good. Maybe we'll go put a little bit of pressure on towards the enemy. I'm going to use attack move to go and hit them up. We're going to keep double checking and making sure. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, keep in mind, he's playing Patar. So let's go double check here and make sure that he's not expanding. Because if he is expanding, we're going to want to stop him from doing that. Alright, I'm getting a little bit chased around over here on this side. Now keep in mind we are automatically producing, but you can see that I'm actually population blocked at the moment. So a little bit of a mistake on my part. We're running low on wood. So let's fix that up. We'll bring Heracles to the front. It's Heracles, right? Yeah, Heracles. I was a bit worried there that it could have been Hercules. Alright, looks like we found the Pharaoh. And all my units are automatically producing. My vills are automatically producing. My military is automatically producing. But remember, I don't think in your ranked games you're going to be able to have automatically producing infantry. Okay? Because it feels very nice right now. But in your ranked games, you're actually going to have to do that yourself. Now, when it comes to... we need to get our myth units out. Do we want to fight that? I don't know if we want to fight that. We don't have our heroes with us. And hero units counter myth units. So we're going to make sure that we take out the right fight here. I tell you what, I'm definitely struggling when it comes to wood. Speaking of struggling right now, where is there a button for us to grab all of our military? I think it's this one right here. I don't think that's it, actually. This is idle military right here. So we want to try and we're going to bring everybody together. Oh, look at this. We've got a little bit of infantry. Now, your arrows will miss in this game, by the way, as you can see. I think if we're close enough and the unit's slow enough, they won't miss. But we do have the option, the ability, the prospect of expanding. Okay, let's fix that bad boy up. Alright, so one of the big things when you're playing the Greeks, especially early on, is you want to try and take advantage of restoration if you've gone through Athena. So that's something that we're going to do here. Dude, we're actually population blocked like crazy in this game. I think this is, you know why this is? This is just because we've got the auto unit production. The auto unit production just goes absolutely crazy. So let's get all of our units here towards the middle. The other thing is you can just keep throwing down more production and it will just keep popping out units. Wait, look at that. We're already up to 70 out of 75. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring everybody together. I'm going to use my attack move to go and hit them up. We're looking at this. We've got a little bit of infantry. Now, your arrows will miss in this game. I think if we're close enough and the unit's slow enough, they won't miss. But we do have the option, the ability, the prospect of expanding. So let's get all of our units here towards the middle. The other thing is you can just keep throwing down more production and it will just keep popping out units. Maybe we can start eating some of our goats here. We've actually got quite a decent surplus of food that's already begun to build up. So maybe rallying out to food isn't the right decision here. So let's keep putting on pressure. We want to make sure that we, at the very least, just check that our enemy's not expanding out. So we've got a decent mass of units. Now, another thing I haven't talked about is zoom. In Age of Mythology, you have the ability to zoom out really far. And that can be a good thing, and it can also be a really bad thing. Let me explain. Can you see how far out I am right now? Like, I feel like I'm on the moon right now. It is that, we are that far away. So this is something you need to be cautious of because it becomes difficult to click. So sometimes you'll find that you want to zoom in, you want to get yourself a little bit closer down here. Mate, bring yourself down a little bit closer to Earth. Alright, I think we've probably got a decent amount of army here that we can look to push and cause a bit of harm. Oh, hello. So we want to get on top of the enemy units first, and then we want to attack them. Otherwise they'll become aware. And we don't want that. We want to be able to take them all out. So we've got our lions here helping us out. And already I'm feeling pretty good about this opening. I haven't seen much of the enemy in the way of military. Now, when it comes to idle vills, there's a little flag that will pop up here at the top. So if our vills go idle like this, I've got my middle mouse button bound to the idle hotkey. So I can just press that, and it will automatically take me to the idle villages. I should probably get one for idle military, though. That's a good idea. We should definitely do that. All right, let's take a look and see. Oh, okay. All right, so we're going to try and do a little bit of kiting here. I'm going to use my special ability. We're going to get some heals in. I'm also going to throw a lightning bolt on the mythic units, or on the myth units, because they're the strong ones. I'm going to pull back any units that are dying. We'll try and pull them back. But we've overwhelmed the enemy. It's not even close. Now, one of the things that you'll see is at the top of our screen, we actually have access to cast these abilities once again. And we're sitting at the moment on 8 favor, which isn't very much. So what I can do is I can take a whole bunch of vills and tell them that I want to pray at the temple. Now, this is unique to the Greeks. The other factions and civs don't have access to this, but you'll see that our favor now begins rising. So that bolt that we used earlier, it was a very powerful bolt. And subsequently, it is gated behind that big cost on your secondary use. So you only really get one use of it in the early game. That's pretty much it. As you can see, inside the enemy base, we're in their base, we're killing their dudes. The game's pretty much over at this point. Now, one thing I have noticed is that it can be quite difficult to make the AI surrender, so you will need to go all the way for it. But let's take a look at this other function of that you'll be able to access. I don't think it's going to work in ranked games, but you will be able to access this functionality in custom games if you turn on the setting. And that's our resource automation button. So if we click this button, this is going to determine where our villagers should go. And there's custom presets that you can choose from. So in this case here, I can choose that I want the balanced setup. So I can come down here and press the balanced setup, and that's going to that's going to tell all my villagers, I think it's all of my future vills, or you can see that it was reallocating right there. We've got 17, now 14, 10. So it's reallocating my vills on the fly to balance them all for my economy. So let's say I want to make a combination of units that is, let's say I only want to make Hippias and I only want to make Hoplite. So that's going to be food and gold. And then over here, we've got food and gold, but it's a little bit more gold on our Hippias. So then I can say, all right, I only want food and gold. Is there anything in here that only really gives me food and gold? And I'd say, well, this one here looks pretty decent. H2, this one here is pretty good as well. There's only a little bit of wood. This is an economic focus, so probably a little bit more food heavy. But it allows you to customize and not have to really think about it. And I think that this is going to be controversial. I definitely think people won't like these sorts of things because at the end of the day, it's limiting how much a player needs to do for them to be competitive. And there's always going to be the old generation, the old guard that will say, back in my day, we had to assemble the game in assembly before we could even play it. And now look at it, these games come for free on Steam. You guys get the idea, right? There's always going to be those gatekeepers. But I do think that it makes sense. Let's blast this guy. Well, get blasted, kid. there's always going to be those gatekeepers that don't like change, and I think that's okay. You're allowed to have your position, but at the same time, this is a pretty smart move by the devs because it means now that it is easier to get into the game, right? Especially if I'm new to the game, I just hit the button, I throw it on balanced, and it just balances out. It makes it super duper easy. So anyway, we'll leave it there. Hard AI, we managed to tackle it. I'm not going to finish it off. As I said, it takes quite a bit of effort, quite a bit of time. We're going to leave it there, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed this look at Age of Mythology Retold. I'm going to leave a link in the description to where you can go ahead, buy it on Steam. Keep in mind that you will have access to the game for this weekend. And that's only through the premium edition, and make sure if you want access, that you get the premium edition. Don't get the standard edition and then upgrade it to the premium edition. Just get the standard edition. It's on sale at the moment, 15% off. It just makes sense. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.